What's up, everyone? Today we're working on the drift truck's frame. Now, the last time we did a good portion of the spot welds on that side, and now all of it is complete. We are ready to rock and roll. So the next part is I'm going to walk you through how I'm fixing to strengthen up the frame itself. And a few other things I want to do is I want to put a class 4 tow system in here. Right around here, I think what I'm going to do is build a box that will come up and replace this bracket right here, and it'll meet up to this portion of the tow hitch, and then it'll stick right to where the back of the vehicle is, and I'll use it to hold the license plate so you can't see it when we're not using it. Now, I have been working on the tractor, and unfortunately, we'll walk over there real quick. When I bought it, it was it didn't have any coolant in it, and naive me decided, you know, it's probably just leaking out of the radiator. But in fact, if I crank her on, you can see, hold on a second, we'll use the factory starting system. Oh. Come on. Either way, pumped it around. You can see that there is a crack right along the length of the block. We'll play with it a little bit in a future episode, but unfortunately she's probably going to have to be broken in half. Not the end of the world, but sucks. Yeah, I know a guy that can repair it, but we're going to try a few things to work our way around it. So back to this guy, and we'll start work on this because it's very important that we get the cab on it so we can start mocking up things. But boy, just boxing it in or filling in the holes, not only does it make it look a lot nicer, but it'll help the airflow, and you'll see what my imagination is doing for the airflow through there. So anyways, right to it, guys. Well, we can add this to being broken. So I was hoping to be able to get the rest of the legs in today, and I was able to cut one of them and weld them in there, and it is still level. We're just going to have to use this bracing setup for the time being. Now, if you look down through the frame, once we get the body back on, I'm going to measure out the center of it and make a template out of cardboard, and that will allow me to make a 11 gauge steel part that's going to box this in. Now, as we are looking through here, you can see there's a lot of different types of waves in the actual steel. So what I had to do was I welded this piece right here in, and then went ahead and start just knocking it out until, you know, we're pretty close to being flat, but we still have a few spots we need to, you know, really hit, literally. And hammers are going to be your best friends. These smaller frame or body tools aren't going to have the gusto. So I'll show you what all I was doing to make it so that it's manipulated to where you want it to be. And then once that's done, we'll grind out this area and we'll box or put a piece of steel on the inside here. So for the sides, I'm going to go for a little bit thinner gauge because we won't have the same kind of forces. Which is convenient because this is the maximum size I can use my cool little thing. But yeah, I'm thinking that this will be enough to be able to counteract the forces from the load. We'll go ahead, cut these out, and then just buzz them on inside there. So because I keep taking the cab on and off by myself, I decided I'll take the doors off. Top bolt came off fairly nicely. This one right here just kind of is sitting in there. So I think I'm going to be replacing these hinges, although this one's not too bad. But this right here, I'm going to go ahead and weld a nut to it and see if we can't get her to come out. as I tried using it just to, you know, give her a tippity tap tap, and she's not going anywhere. So we'll go ahead and put a nut on here to see if we can't break this one free, and then we'll hit this side and see what happens. These are already almost halfway out. Now that method I usually use to get broken studs and stuff out of engine blocks and all that fun stuff, but I didn't want to turn it on too hot because I don't want to paint myself into a circle, if you will, and it didn't work. So I'm going to try a few other things and see if we can't knock this pin out. Well guys, that was a great success. We have it up on the frame table. Right now I put a set of 4x4s, once again, from the pick 'em up truck. We need to do something with that eventually, but it's always sacrificing something for the builds. And this time, a little bit more of the bed. So we have a great setup right here. I'm happy with it. I think we're going to be pretty set. And as you can see, just where I think the transmission is actually going to be bolting up to the engine, and between the distances from the wheelbase, I think that this is going to be where the drivetrain weight is going to be the most. So I might be a little bit off, but I think that's about where we're going to be. So we're going to have, I believe the Cummins engine mounts are going to be somewhere around here. And then the transmission mount is going to be somewhere around here. So I really think that if we use the engine and transmission as additional part of the the structure of the vehicle, so mount them solid, no rubber bushings or anything, which will be interesting with a Cummins. So I don't know how much it's going to sit there and shake, but hey. Anyways, that's why we did the strengthening right there, just in case. And once we go ahead and box it all in as well, I think we're going to be golden. The reason why I haven't boxed it in yet, because I really want to know how much of the cab is going to be integrated into the frame. Now, I don't know if the cab is in the exact spot quite yet. I still need to put the grill back on it, put the front suspension, just mock it up on there, and do a couple other things. But we have a lot of work, and putting the body up on a spot that I know it's going to be sitting, and I can get, you know, it'll make it so that we can get to work on the cab and not have to revisit things down the road. So we have a lot of little repairs and some big repairs. But that's what the whole fun is. So the reason why I was talking to Bob Adler, great guy. He's the one that had all these down at his shop, and he's restored a lot of these things. The reason why it cracked right here is actually a body seam, and it's filled. So, and you can actually see it on this side. Right there. So what we're going to go ahead and do is probably try to remove the material off of this so we can really get a good idea of what we're working with and how far up we have to go ahead and remove to here, and just try to make our own repair, because I can't find A-pillars on the interweb. So not a big deal. That's why they make welders, and we'll figure it out. But guys, we need a lot of work on this thing. Cab corners, like I said, should be here soon, which would be great. We can get them mocked up and or not mocked up, repaired. Then we can come to this side, cut a section out of the old cab corner to patch the hole here, because we are not going to use a fuel tank in here. We'll go ahead and make our own fuel tank behind here. I have a few ideas that would look really cool, so we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So anyways, next step is some body work on here. We're not going to start plug welding all of these holes because I am very low on argon gas. I will pick some up after payday. Yes, this is great, guys. And on that, guys, remember, keep your shiny side up, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up if you like the content, share it. All those things help the channel out a lot. So I appreciate you all hanging out with me today, and take care.